As a child, I was a very curious child, however, like all children. I really liked it when my mother read bedtime stories. One of my favorites was Sleeping Beauty. Even then, as a child, I imagined how I would meet my prince, and everything would be like in a fairy tale. After all, my mom met her prince in the person of my dad. They love each other very much and understand each other literally without words. Well, how can you not believe it? You know, fairy tales teach good, but only in fairy tales, good always wins over evil. I grew up, of course, my ideas about the world changed over the years, but the childish naivety still remained, although not as concentrated as at the age of 6. But I still believed in fairy tales and believed in principle, believed in the goodness and honesty of people, despite the cruelty of the real world. You know, my faith didn't let me down. I met the principle of my whole life. That's what I thought at the time. I turned 17 years old, then I graduated from the 10th grade. At that age, you want love and romance. And I wanted true love, so that once and for all. I had plenty of boyfriends at school, but they were all the wrong ones, not the ones I needed. I was supposed to spend that summer with my grandmother in the village. And so it happened. It's a hot June day. I was overcome with euphoria from the long-awaited summer vacation. My grandmother was glad to see me. After all, my beloved granddaughter came after all. But I had time to enjoy my grandmother's delicious pancakes when my friend Alla came running to me. A girl from this village, we have been friends with her since childhood. Alla is a tall, red-haired girl, cheerful, giggly and the star of any company. That day, she persuaded me to go for a walk with her in the evening. Well, please come on, they're so cool, I really want to introduce you to them. Besides, we haven't seen each other for a long time. Let's go, otherwise I'll be offended, Alla screamed. I had no choice but to nod my head in agreement. That's good, but please dress nicely. I ran until the evening, said Alla, pleased, and quickly ran away. It was already getting dark, and we agreed to meet at 11 in the evening. I put on a beautiful dress, let my hair down and put on makeup. Alla came to pick me up at 5 minutes to 11. We left the courtyard. There was a large company of 10 people at the intersection. It must be them, I whispered. Alla nodded her head in agreement. I think it's going to be a terrible evening, it flashed through my mind. But that thought quickly left me when I saw him. I no longer heard anything my girlfriend was saying to me, I just looked at him. Alla introduced me to all the guys. There were 3 girls and 7 guys. That guy's name was Sergei. He was like that prince from the fairy tale. A tall, blue-eyed brunette with a stunning snow-white smile. Cheerful and courteous, there were no such guys among my admirers. He was 22 years old. We spent the whole evening together in the same company, chatting about everything, laughing and joking. Then he walked me home, and we agreed to spend tomorrow evening just the 2 of us. The next day, my dear friend came to visit. Hello, said Alla. Hello, come on in, we're going to have tea now, I said happily. I wanted to talk to you. Did you like Sergei? Yes, I really liked him. I think I fell in love. I care about him too. Anyway, then you'll go home and forget about him, and he'll forget about you, Alla said angrily. There was a pause, and I couldn't believe I was hearing this from my friend. I thought she would support me. Besides, I did not take away her loved one. She herself said that he was just her friend. And now I hear it. You know, Alla, even though you are my friend and I appreciate you, but why do you say that? Without answering, she ran out of the house, and we didn't see each other again this summer. I spent the whole summer with Seryozha. During these 3 months, I fell head over heels in love with him. The summer was coming to an end, we didn't want to part. I was waiting for the 11th grade and exams, and his university and diploma. The difficulty was that we lived in different cities. But once every 2 weeks he came to stay with me. It was December, I was really waiting for him that day, and he arrived. When I ran outside, I didn't see him. He was sitting in the car, although he usually met me at the entrance. I ignored it and got into the car. Hello, darling, you finally arrived. I've been waiting for you so much, I purred. I reached out to hug him, and he recoiled. Hi, he said dryly. He started the car and we drove off. Seryozha, has something happened? Or aren't you glad to see me? Are you glad to see me? Of course. I've been waiting for you. What's the matter with you, tell me? By that time, we had left the city. He seemed to be very angry, his eyes were literally burning with hellfire. He stopped the car on the side of the road and got out. He opened the passenger door where I was sitting, grabbed the curtains and dragged me out of the car. Let go. It hurts me. What are you doing? I cried with tears. I didn't understand what had gotten into him. He never hurt me. Fear and horror got the better of me. My throat tightened. It was hard to breathe. He was dragging me into the woods. When we were far enough away from the highway, he